Okay, this is Dan again, and I'm here at this booth, and I have a young lady here who's going to explain how to pronounce it and what it is all about. And she's not going to be on camera. She's going to talk though.
Okay. Well, this is Pizzo and Associates. We are headquartered in Leland, Illinois, just below DeKalb. We are exceptionally mobile. You will see our Priuses on the highways. We also have offices in Michigan and St. Louis. My name is Lauren Wyrick. I'm the landscape designer for Pizzo. Our company are mainly ecological contractors. We restore your wetlands, woodlands, and prairies. We also take turf and convert those back into pre-settlement conditions based on your site. We have stewardship programs, so we will do all of your maintenance and burning. We also are consultants with our Green Line Review, which basically takes your site plan or your master plan and makes it more sustainable for future use. We work with all types of entities: government, local municipalities, park districts, homeowners associations, homeowners, or corporations.
Oh, okay. So like office buildings and properties, and then go back to homes. I was talking to the lady from MILA, the Midwest Ecological Landscaping Association, and I had mentioned to her that I've seen a couple of homes in the Lincolnshire, Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, Bannockburn area. Not that you would have to live in a rich area to do this, but some of the homes, their properties have been declared as habitats, natural habitats. Is that something that you guys can?
We help facilitate that.
Because as she was telling me that it doesn't naturally happen, or it naturally happens, but over 40 or 50 years.
Right.
But if you wanted to have it done sooner, you might have to plant some things that can naturally kill off weeds.
Right. We'll connect any homeowner with a company, a non-for-profit called the Conservation Foundation, and they'll help people either buy that property or preserve it.
So they can already own it.
It's a conservation.
But they can do a preservation.
They put a conservation easement on it, and you also get.
And what is that? What's the benefit for a homeowner?
You get tax refunds. So, in the long run, it's beneficial, and that property is never touched. What Pizzo does in that process is we can also help you with grants and grant applications, or restoring that property, or stewarding it, so maintaining it as that native habitat that it's supposed to be.
Does it become, by the easement, does it become forest preserve, like a county forest preserve land, or is it still ownership of the homeowner?
It is the ownership of the homeowner. They cannot touch it though.
So when they go to sell it, it has to.
The person, that land becomes the new owner's property, but they still cannot touch it.
Right. So the responsibility. So once it's declared as a habitat, it has to continue on as that through different ownerships of the home. That's
for the most part, you do have to maintain it though.
Yeah. So and then that's where Pizzo can come in and help with the maintenance contract as well.
Absolutely.
Is it easier to do isolated home, like plats of say half acres and an acre, or is it better if it's a like 2 or 3 homes get together, like doing a cul-de-sac and have it all?
The larger the acreage, the better. It saves you money, and it's also easier in the stewardship process.
And it's more natural too. Yeah, like you said.
Right, and plus native plants are going to do far better if they're in a mass quantity.
Right.
They'll outcompete.
They'll live longer, and
the invasives much better than if it was just a little circular plot.
Right.
But absolutely, we tend to do larger scale stuff.
Not to interrupt, but earlier you said you're a designer and a landscape architect. And did you happen to go to Northern for that?
No, I actually went to Iowa State.
Okay, well, still good for that. Yeah. Because I don't particularly know if Northern is any shines in the architect field particularly. So just that this company happens to be near DeKalb.
Right.
It just happens to
and
be.
we do work a lot with NIU and their students, and we've also restored a few of their woodlands.
Oh, nice.
But the University of Illinois has
huge
their design school.
Yeah.
And that's actually where most of our our employees have graduated from.
Oh, okay. What kind of, for students, what kind of, that are like in architecture now, what kinds of things do you think would draw them, convince them to go in this way, or to always include this in their planning, like especially not necessarily homes, but maybe homes with larger properties, with maybe natural or possibly man-made small ponds or lakes. You know, say like 5 to 10 acre type thing properties where you may have like a 2 acre little pond lake or whatever. What kinds of directions should young architects be thinking of? Not that they would have to go into what you do, but how do they keep track of this kind of thing, you think? Association membership or anything like that they would go
Well, I mean,
toward?
there's so many different organizations or clubs or publications that they can get into that preview this. More, it's basically on your own interest, but also on a client basis. It's more sustainable for that client, and over time it becomes more cost benefit.
What got you into designing, like for this kind of thing? You started with just landscapes, just normal architecture, and then photorealism. Is that what got you hooked on the landscape part? Because you saw photorealistic drawings and go, you know what, I like the bushes and trees.
I got hooked on this just from merging architecture and gardening together. I love horticulture, but I like our native habitats, woodlands, wetlands, prairies. I've always, as a kid,
This is
I was
perfect.
introduced to that. So this is what
Well,
drew me to it.
how, like, so down, we look down on the list here, 2007. So is the company just 4 years old, or is it older than that?
Actually, it's 23 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was started by
Well, there
Jack
isn't
Pizzo.
room for all 20 years
Yeah, I've
of
got more of
awards.
these to put up, so
Okay.
I couldn't fit them.
Right.
But yes, we pride ourselves on being the most awarded ecological contractor in the area, in Illinois and the Midwest. And
Pretty big area.
we pride ourselves on becoming consistently better in the field. Our ecologists are exceptionally knowledge-based. Our president and mainly all of us practice what we preach. And it's more of a hobby than a profession, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's just like you do what you love, and it's like, oh, look at that, we get paid for it too.
Yes.
That's nice. Yeah, I think that's a large part of the green movement now today. Is it's much more realistically approached and accomplished than 20 years ago when sustainable was a kind of a buzzword for a lot of people. You know. Well, good job. Thank you for explaining. So, just pause this.
So you guys putting like a piece together?
It's what we're doing is just